friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Lisa and I like to do videos on luxury fashion, handbags, shoes, and some styling videos, and I do those things from the perspective of somebody who is in the middle of her life, as well as someone who is mid-size. So if that sounds like something that interests you, I would love it if you would take a second and click the subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you know every time I upload videos. So first things first, Happy New Year. I am filming this on New Year's Day. If I can get it edited and up today, I will, but probably more likely than not, it will be up on Monday the 2nd. But happy belated Happy New Year. I hope everyone had a really wonderful time with family or friends, or if you were just, snuggled up on the couch with popcorn and a glass of your favorite wine or non-alcoholic drink, whatever you enjoy. I hope you had a really nice New Year's Eve. I hope you had an amazing 2022. We are obviously very much looking forward to 2023 and the adventure that's in front of us of moving to New York. So yeah, it is pretty much, it's T-minus 13 days for us right now when I film this, and I have a lot to do. So obviously you can see closet is still here and probably will be until, maybe like the 10th or so. And then most of the stuff will be put away. I will be filming like how I'm packing my bags. My entire family does know that all of the carry-on luggage that will be going on the plane will be filled with my handbags because we are not risking those going through TSA and underneath the plane, nor do we trust the movers. So those will all be traveling on the plane, being carried by us, and so we know that they're safe. But I'll kind of take you through how I'm packing those and, do an empty tour. And anyway, well, let's get on. Today's video is a happy video. It is my 2022 best luxury purchases. So you will have already seen my 2022 luxury regrets. And this is like I said, is the complete opposite. These are things that I purchased in 2022 that I am just loving and am very happy with as a purchase. So just so you know, these are in no particular order, just as they came to me. So the first item is my Fendi Peekaboo in the denim. So this is the mini Peekaboo. And as you can see, it is in denim. It's got those really fun buckles on the side and does come with the adjustable removable strap. This is gold hardware and it has the Zucca print on the interior. It's sort of a kind of a dark chocolate, or yeah, just kind of chocolate brown trim, and it does not have feet. My one qualm about this bag, I would say, is yeah, I wish it had feet, but otherwise I love this bag. You guys know, if you watched any of the videos that I did or any Instagram posts that I did, like when we were in New York for closing on the condo and we were there for a couple weeks, I took this bag with me. It was probably the bag that I used the most while we were there. It is just very easy to carry. It goes with everything. Very, very happy with this purchase. I am also happy that I ended up passing on the denim baguette from the 25th anniversary collection and decided to pick this up instead, because I really do think that the top stitching on this, gives it a little more interest. The denim baguette was just a little too flat for me. So this is definitely one of my best purchases of 2022. Next up on the list is a piece of ready-to-wear, and it is my Chanel denim jacket from the 22P collection. This jacket came in maybe 3 variations. I know there was a blue denim, and I feel like there were actually maybe 2 different blues, like a darker blue and a lighter blue, and then it came in this black. I have the exact matching flap bag to this, which I also love. It didn't make the top purchases, but I just really like how the writing really pops on the black. And I think just for me, black is just a little bit easier to style. Like I can put it with a pair of denim jeans and not feel like I'm, you know, doing, is it the Canadian tuxedo? Is that what they call it? You know, denim on denim. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just, you know, I just happen to like this. If you watched any of my New York vlogs from New York, if you watched any of my New York vlogs from New York, really, Lisa? Okay, let's try that again. If you watched any of my New York vlogs over the summer when we were there, so we were there in the month of June, we spent a whole month there, which is sort of what then was the catalyst to us deciding to move there. I wore this several times. I love the buttons on this are these kind of silver, almost like ruthenium sort of. Yeah, it has CC in the very center, you know, and they go down obviously the front here, but it just says Chanel all over it. These pockets are functional, but I would never put them in there, or anything in there, I should say. This jacket is definitely a top purchase of last year. Next, we're going back to Fendi. I will admit there is quite a bit of Fendi on this list, so just be forewarned. But the next item is my mini sequin baguette that was part of the cruise collection. And this is in the sort of lilac purple color. Just beautiful. I was very, very excited to get this bag. Yes, I know I still have the sticker on it. If Meredith watches this video, she'll cringe. I probably will take it off. I've only worn this bag twice, I think, so far. I wore it out to dinner when we were in New York. So I picked this bag up. I bought this again through my phenomenal sales associate, Brandon, who's in Chicago, but he sourced this for me from the Soho boutique in New York. And so it was right around the time that we were going to be going there to close on the condo. And so instead of having it shipped to me, I just said, I'll just go pick it up while I'm there. So I had it in New York when we were there, and I took it out to dinner. So that was its first maiden voyage. These are leather lined, and you can see I've got a lot of stuffing in there. I did get an organizer or an insert for this from Zimoni, as you can see, and I just got it kind of as a, to match the, so the interior of the bag is this really pretty Tiffany blue, and it's got the card slot. So I decided to get kind of a matching insert, and I just think that that really helps keep the shape of this bag. These sequin ones can tend to sort of, you know, collapse. But yeah, and it's, you know, got the other chain so you can wear it crossbody. So I've worn the bag, like I said, once in New York, and then I've carried it once, kind of really more casually crossbody back here in Kansas City. So it's only gone out twice, but I can't stop staring at it. It's just absolutely beautiful to look at. And yeah, so it made it to a list, even though, you know, it's only been used a couple times, but I just think it is stunning. Next item, going back to Chanel. Trust me, we're not doing a ping pong here. I think this might be the last Chanel item on the list, but that is my Chanel 19 in the caramel color. This was from the 22A? Yes, 22A collection. I've been trying to get this bag for, this was the third season it was released, and it took me 3 times to get it. So I love the 19 bag. I have it in black, as you may know, with the silver hardware on the front. It still has the multi-color hardware on the whole thing, but instead of like this having gold and a gold top handle, it has silver and a silver handle. But anyway, I digress. The point is that I love the 19 bag. I think it is incredibly easy to carry. I love where it hits me crossbody. It's just functional. I love the back pocket. I can easily slip my phone in here for easy access. I'm not a classic flap girl. And yes, that video is coming, I promise. But, you know, I could see myself getting maybe a vintage classic flap, one that's not so perfect, but I just really like the more casual look of this bag. I love the oversized quilts. I love the squishy nature of it. That's why I think maybe I might enjoy like a vintage lambskin classic flap, because it would kind of have that squishy, you know, feeling to it. I just, like I said, obviously have been hunting for this color since it came out in 21P, and I was finally able to get a hold of it in June with the 22A collection. All right, next we're going to switch things up a little bit. We're going to get out of the handbag sort of luxury fashion house genre and move into a fragrance. So this is my fragrance Dubois Minuit et Demi. Sorry. Minuit et Demi, I believe that's how you say it. So this was the collab that Fragrance Dubois did with Demi Rawlings, and I just love this fragrance. I think this pairs beautifully when you layer it with Dayle, like shower gel or body cream. It has, I think, some similar notes in it. I definitely wouldn't say that it smells like Dayle, but they're almost like cousins, I would say. I mean, clearly they're not related, right? I mean, Dayle is made by Parfums de Marly. There's no crossover. It's just, I sort of made that connection myself. I really love it. I got this, I want to say maybe in February of this year. So I wore it, probably until April, May timeframe, and then took a break because I do think it's a little heavier of a fragrance. I definitely think a man could wear this as well. I definitely think this is unisex. I'm pretty sure Demi formulated this so that it was a unisex fragrance, but I think it's a little heavier, so I tend to only wear it during the fall and winter months, hence why it is out. And it was one of my favorites. I guess you should know it's one of my favorites because I have probably 20 to 25 fragrances for fall, winter, and 20 to 25 probably of spring, summer. And once we're in the condo and everything is unpacked, I promised you, some of you who asked, to do a fragrance collection video, and I will do that. But my point is that I only kept out sort of my favorite like 5, 6 fall, winter fragrances when I was packing the house and I knew we would be here and, for sort of temporary. And this is obviously one that I kept out. So it definitely is a favorite. If you are into fragrances, I would highly suggest it. It's, on the pricier side. I want to say maybe mid to high 3s, something like that. It's considered a niche fragrance. And yeah, I love the bottle. I love the cap. I think it's just really, really pretty with these gold and black sort of details on it. Yeah, just a really pretty fragrance. So if you like fragrances, check this one out. All right, going back to handbags, you just saw when I unboxed this on my channel, you'll know that it was something that I felt very, very lucky to get, and that is my Hermes Kelly in the 28 size in the Retorn style, and this is in the color Gris Meyer. So it is a newer gray color for Hermes, and you can see it has the gold hardware on it. Yes, my stickers are still on. This is the clochette and key, which I don't keep on either one of my bags. Do like to wear them on the bags. I would highly recommend that you don't store your bags with them on because they can leave impressions. This is the strap that comes with it. I do have an organizer that I got from My Tie, and these are the raincoats. If you saw one of my vlogs, I actually carried this bag and I took these out because I was like, oh, it kind of makes the bag heavy or whatever. And I was like, I don't need those. And then I was going somewhere and it started raining. So I ended up having to leave my bag like with something like kind of a blanket covering it so that it didn't get wet. It was when I went to the dentist. Anyway, I have those tucked in the back there. You can see in between the pocket and the organizer. But that's what it looks like inside. And generally I carry my Kelly, sometimes I will carry it literally, open like this, especially if I have it on my shoulder with the strap. I don't generally carry it top handle like this because it really, obviously you can see it's very open. But if I'm, have the strap on it, it kind of looks more like this. Otherwise, if I'm hand carrying it, I generally, just do the turn lock like that, and I kind of pull in the sangles, so it's a little more closed, but I never put the sangles across here. That's just a pain in the butt, to be quite frank. This does have obviously the feet on the bottom, still have the stickers on that as well. But this is a gorgeous bag. It is, you know, it was my first home store offer. So, you know, my Birkin, if you've seen that video, I was able to get at the Paris FSH store through an amazing story. If you haven't watched that, I would highly recommend. I will link it up above here. But it's a pretty incredible story of how I got an appointment, and it was not through the normal lottery system because we tried that and we were not successful. So this is a little bit of a different way, but I just, you know, I didn't know that if I would enjoy a Kelly. I'd never tried a Kelly on, but when my sales associate at Hermes offered this to me and, you know, I was able to try it on and see, it's just, it is such a great bag. And I have to say, moving to New York, I probably will carry this more than my Birkin, right? Because it does have the shoulder strap. And if you're out walking around a lot, like you do in New York, the Birkin is not exactly the best bag, right? Because it's hand carry. I mean, obviously it's a Birkin 30, so I can throw it on the crook of my arm, which is nice. But it's not the most convenient shopping bag, I would say. You know, if I'm running around doing errands and going shopping, the Birkin is not going to be the bag that I take. If I was taking an Hermes bag and I wanted to take a bigger Hermes bag, I would take my Kelly. So yeah, this was definitely an amazing purchase for this year, and I feel very, very lucky to have gotten it. All right, going back to Chanel, we have my green flap card holder in the lambskin with the light gold or champagne gold hardware. And this is from the 22A collection again. I did pick this up at the flagship store in New York City. Again, when we were there in June, I was there for the 22A launch, which was, you know, exciting for me because I don't currently live in a city where we have any luxury shopping. So I'm never anywhere unless it's just by complete happenstance that I'm anywhere that has luxury stores when a season is launching, whether it be, you know, any luxury store, right? I'm not just talking Chanel, any luxury store. So it was really fun. I, you know, took a couple hours off that day and, you know, I did some vlogging that day and was able to go to the 57th Street store boutique in New York. And unfortunately, my fantastic sales associate was out. I think he's finally back now. He actually suffered an injury at work and was out for like almost 6 months, I think. But a very nice sales associate helped me in his place. And I loved this green. I thought about getting it in the mini cocoa handle, but just didn't know, you know, how much use I would get out of that bag. Although I love green, you know, as you can see, I don't know. You can't really see it, but I have a very similar color button-down shirt that I wear quite a bit in the summer that's long sleeve. And I loved the color. So I wanted something in this color from the collection because I just think it's a beautiful shade of emerald green. This is the lambskin flap card holder in green with the champagne gold hardware. Okay, we've got a couple of Fendi items coming up here, and the first item are the Fendi Colibri, wherever you want to put the accent, pumps. These are in the lower heel height, and this is I think they carry this particular colorway. I think it's sort of their classic color all year round, so I think this is sort of a rev piece for them. But this is the first piece that I've actually ever purchased from Vestiaire Collective. And sometimes I can get a little nervous. I've heard some kind of horror stories about Vestiaire Collective pieces, but, you know, I felt comfortable. This wasn't like a huge amount of money to put out. And these are seriously the most comfortable pair of shoes you will ever wear. I mean, for a pair of pumps, now I've heard that the higher heel ones, which I think are 85 millimeter, I think these might be maybe 40, something like that, I would just describe it as kind of a kitten heel. I've heard the higher ones, like, you know, are more typical. I mean, I think they're comfortable from the standpoint of how they feel on your feet, but just because of the height, walking and doing things in them for, you know, longer than a couple hours probably isn't recommended. But these, honestly, I can wear, you know, I've taken them to Denver with me on business trips. Obviously been at the office, but then generally go over to the mall to do some of my luxury shopping, and, you know, walked all over the mall. So I had them on all day and then doing a significant amount of walking, and they are just, like I said, very, very comfortable. So I would not hesitate to get another pair of these. And these, you know, because they're so neutral, I can throw them on with jeans. I can throw them on with a pair of dress pants when I work. You know, they really are very, very functional. So these are my Colibri pumps from Fendi. So the last Fendi item is something fairly recent, and they have become like a staple in my wardrobe for the past month and a half, month and 3/4, something like that. And those are the Fendi hoop earrings, which I am wearing right now. I will take one out so I can show you, but they are very, very light weight. If you saw my worst purchases, you saw that I did reference that I had originally the large pair, which is, you know, they're probably about this big around, and it's one gold and one silver. And I sold those last year, actually. Or no, I actually think I sold them this year, but I purchased them the year before, so I didn't count them in my worst purchases of 2022 because I didn't purchase them in 2022. But these are amazing. They come in the silver tone, they come in the yellow gold tone, and the rose gold tone. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw me pick up the rose gold as well. So since I have the Louise, the kind of mini Louise, I guess I would call it, earrings in the gold, and I have these in the silver tone, I don't have anything in the rose gold. So stay tuned. You might see some of those come into my collection in 2023. And last but not least is an experience. And I guess I don't know if this technically qualifies as a luxury experience, but I'm going to count it that way because, you know, it wasn't insignificant in cost. So from my perspective, it was definitely an investment, and it was an investment in me. So I did participate, or I did do the 5 Stages to Style, which was a styling course that Dayle at Dayle's Addiction, I will link her channel below if for some reason you have been living under a rock on the planet and don't know who Dayle is, I will link her channel below. But she did the styling course, I think it was probably in the beginning of 2022, and I was just really inspired by, you know, she really did a good job of kind of keeping us abreast of what she was learning in the course, not giving away the contents of the course, but just some things that she was learning and kind of going through her closet and, you know, sort of letting us know how her brain was kind of shifting. And I thought, you know, I'm not used to dressing this body. I've gained some significant amount of weight, and so just, you know, kind of looking for some options because I'm just not used to it. Anyway, and I thought, you know what, that would be a good investment in me. So I also signed up for the course and I did it. I'm still actually working my way through a couple of the end modules, but I just wanted to throw it in here because, like I said, I think it's important that we do things for ourselves and not just necessarily from the standpoint of buying pretty things, but doing things that are going to, I don't want to say make our lives better, because I you know, what clothes you wear doesn't necessarily make your life better, but I just think it was important. It was something that I wanted to do for myself. And so I really enjoyed the course. You know, it was a little bit difficult in the sense that, you know, the woman who runs the course, Caitlin, is based in Australia. So when she does her live sort of, you know, going through each module in Zoom, it's, you know, at a time, I think it's like 8 o'clock in the evening where she is, but that's like 5 o'clock in the morning my time, or 4 o'clock when the time changed, I think. So I didn't participate a lot in that. I wish I had been able to do more so, because I think I probably would have gotten more out of it. But I really enjoyed it. I think that it makes a lot of sense if any of you are sort of struggling or feel like you're struggling with your own personal style, or, you know, if you've gained weight, lost weight, you know, went through menopause, whatever, just felt like your body is maybe different than it was 10, whatever, how many years ago, I would give it a think and see if that's something that might interest you, because I think it's a great course. Facebook group is amazing. You can get lots of feedback from other women who are in the styling course. I assume men can take it too, but I don't know that there were any men in my particular group. But, you know, it's a closed Facebook group, so you can feel very safe that, you know, sharing pictures and things like that. And everyone is so helpful. And anyway, I just, like I said, it was, you know, a decent chunk of change as far as, you know, sort of self-improvement, or yeah, I guess that's sort of what I would call it, sort of a self-improvement type course. So really enjoy it. Highly recommend. Like I said, still kind of working through the end part of it, but it definitely helped me as I was packing and getting ready for the move, going through my clothing and being like, okay, yeah, not something you need to keep. So it did help me, especially in that aspect. So yeah, would highly recommend. Those were my 10 luxury favorite or best luxury purchases of 2022. Let me know if any of those were a surprise to you. I mean, you probably would have been surprised by the styling course because I didn't really talk about it very much on my channel. So that one probably surprised you. But of the items that I showed, you know, sort of the more traditional luxury things, did any of those surprise you that they made my list? Was there something that you didn't see that you've seen on my channel that wasn't on the list? So, you know, that's not to mean that I don't love the other things in my collection. Keep in mind, these were the top 10 luxury purchases of 2022, not necessarily my top 10 luxury items. You know, if you want to see that video, you know, leave a comment down below, click the like button, and I'll know to film that if you'd like to see that. Anyway, that is it, guys. Like I said, happy New Year. I hope you are having an amazing start to your year. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. We are just like a couple people away from 500. And while I wished that it would have happened, you know, prior to 2023 starting, we're just at the very beginning of it. So if you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you would join us here. You know, it's a great little family, so hope you enjoy it. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you are having an amazing day or evening, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.